regarding which children merit his focus and which can be easily set aside. While some have normalized or rationalized Edward's conduct, a growing number of individuals are beginning to uncover the profoundly troubling nature of his attitudes toward relationships and fatherhood. The idea that his reluctance to engage with his children is justified points to a disturbing societal tolerance for male irresponsibility, which Edward seems to have learned to navigate effectively. Most unsettling, however, is his apparent ability to manipulate the legal system to lessen his financial and emotional responsibilities toward his children. His choice to pursue paternity claims in Georgia instead of California, where child support payments are generally much higher, reveals a level of deliberate strategy that undermines any portrayal of reckless youth or misguided decisions. This tactical maneuvering isn't merely clever lawyering. It shows someone who perceives child support as a cost to be minimized rather than a duty to fulfill. This pragmatic view of fatherhood, aimed at decreasing expenses while maximizing separation from the children, highlights a serious ethical decay that ought to alarm anyone concerned about Edward's integrity or his capacity to be a role model. The situation becomes even more alarming when considered alongside Edward's public remarks regarding family and responsibility. Throughout his career, he has been intentional about crafting a public persona that emphasizes his commitment to family and his responsibilities, especially concerning his bond with Shannon Jackson and their daughter. This selective approach to fatherhood, where one child is enveloped in affection and public recognition while others are viewed merely as financial responsibilities, indicates an emotional compartmentalization that teeters on the edge of sociopathy. Although his professional reputation has taken a hit, it may not be as harshly affected as it ought to be considering his behavioral patterns, while his on-court performances continue to shine, marked by all-star selections and Olympic achievements. However, the surrounding controversies have begun to tarnish his marketability and public image. Endorsement contracts, which heavily depend on an athlete's character and public persona, have become increasingly difficult to obtain as brands are more hesitant to associate with athletes embroiled in personal controversies. The Minnesota Timberwolves have predominantly kept quiet regarding Edward's personal issues, choosing to spotlight his on-court achievements. Nevertheless, the claims that Howard had someone tailing his hotel and intimidating teammates during the playoffs indicate that his off-court troubles might be infiltrating his professional environment, potentially jeopardizing team dynamics and overall performance. What makes Edward's behavior especially concerning is how it mirrors larger societal issues regarding the treatment of affluent young athletes. The blend of vast financial power, minimal accountability, and a culture that frequently overlooks misbehavior from gifted athletes has fostered a setting where Edwards can participate in increasingly troubling actions without facing significant repercussions. The disparity in how Edwards is treated compared to the intense scrutiny encountered by female athletes or celebrities who commit similar errors is notably pronounced. While women in comparable roles often suffer severe repercussions for much less significant transgressions, Edwards has managed to uphold his image as an emerging talent in spite of a recurring pattern of conduct that might ruin the career of a female athlete. Moving forward, it remains uncertain if Edwards will encounter any substantial repercussions for his conduct or if his basketball prowess will continue to shield him from the ramifications of his actions. The fact that he has reportedly not yet met his daughter Aubrey, who is already several months old, highlights a level of indifference that should disqualify anyone aspiring to be regarded as a model or leader. The true tragedy of Edwards' narrative lies not only in the damage he has inflicted on the women and children around him, but also in the lost chance for personal growth and redemption that his platform could have facilitated. As a young, accomplished athlete with significant influence, Edwards had the potential to transform his experiences into advocacy for responsible fatherhood, sexual health education, or initiatives against discrimination. Rather than changing course, he has opted to persist with his troubling conduct, leveraging his fortune and legal clout to lessen the fallout from his decisions. As this trend progresses, the central issue for the NBA, his sponsors, and his supporters is whether exceptional skill on the court can justify a series of behaviors that would be intolerable in anyone else. The resolution of this dilemma will reveal as much about our societal values as it will about Anthony Edwards' integrity. We appreciate your viewership. If you're interested in another captivating video, click on one of the boxes presented on your screen now. Consider this a wellness check and a noble act in the realm of misinformation. Isha Howard, the mother of Anthony Edwards' child, has just spoken out and is going all in. During an Instagram live session, she accused Edwards of neglecting their daughter and asserted that he previously pressured her to terminate the pregnancy. With allegations flying and evidence surfacing, the unfolding saga is intense and not in his favor. Let's dissect the details. The birth of a Hollywood-esque saga. Few narratives have seized the spotlight like the dramatic custody clash involving Minnesota Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards and social media personality Isha Howard. What started as a private relationship between two willing individuals has spiraled into a sensational public display, resembling more of a movie script than a standard paternity issue. The drama begins to play out like a meticulously crafted story in the autumn of 2024. Isha Howard, already known in celebrity circles as the mother of rapper Lil Baby's child, welcomed another baby, Aubrey Summer Howard, whom she asserts is Edward's daughter. This was not a joyful welcoming of new beginnings. Instead, it marked the onset of one of the most heated and closely watched paternity disputes in recent NBA lore. The tension escalated dramatically when Howard took to Instagram to counter what she viewed as a deliberate effort to spread falsehoods and tarnish her reputation. With a string of explosive posts and live streams that would certainly catch the attention of reality TV producers, Howard meticulously began to debunk the portrayal of her as merely a gold digger targeting a young, affluent athlete. I've also come to understand that some accusations are ones I will simply never overcome with you all. I entered this scenario with a specific reputation due to having a child with a prominent artist. Consequently, I am perceived in a particular light, partly because of my looks and physique. Typically, women who fit this description tend to draw in a specific type of man, which isn't something I can control. The situation grows even more fascinating when we look at the sequence of events. Court records and Howard's social media hints suggest that Edward started showing interest in her back in 2022 when he was only 21, while she was 36. The 15-year age difference became a focal issue, stirring public outrage as social media analysts and legal professionals scrutinized their relationship's complexities. In September 2024, the legal wheels turned with Howard initiating a paternity and child support case in Los Angeles, California, selecting a location renowned for its lenient support structures. Not wishing to be overshadowed, Edward swiftly filed a competing paternity suit in Georgia, where the support norms were notably less generous. This legal maneuvering illustrated the significant stakes involved. Edward's legal representation accused Howard of relocating to California solely to take advantage of the more favorable child support laws, arguing that her ties to the state were merely a facade for financial gain. This accusation characterized Howard as a shrewd strategist who meticulously planned her pregnancy and subsequent legal approach. Yet the most explosive accusations were still to unfold. In February 2025, Howard presented what she asserted were genuine text message exchanges with Edwards, messages set to dramatically shift the public's view of the NBA star. In these purported communications, upon learning of Howard's pregnancy, Edwards reportedly reacted in a disturbingly indifferent manner, stating things like, "Okay, LOL, have the abortion, LOL." The messages allegedly went on with Edwards asserting, "I won't be part of child's life. I don't want you or it." These disclosures created a frenzy across social media and sports commentary platforms. The portrayal of a young, accomplished athlete coldly rejecting the existence he contributed to struck many as particularly heartless, especially in light of Edwards' public image as an emerging talent with endorsement opportunities and dreams of Olympic glory. I don't care how old you are, the reality is clear. We know how babies come to be, and if you engage in that, you have to face the consequences. Choosing to walk away? That's just immature cowardice, in my opinion. Agreement is not a necessity. The public's response was quick and polarized. Some consider Howard a victim of a young man's recklessness and malice, while others perceive her as a predatory older woman who exploited an unsuspecting young athlete. The age disparity ignited larger cultural discussions surrounding power dynamics, grooming, and financial exploitation within celebrity pairings. It's complicated, especially since reports suggest he wasn't keen on the child, nor was he compelled to become one of the parents. I would suggest this. Pause for a moment and gather yourself. You're feeling angry at the moment since being with her wasn't your intention. You were just enjoying yourself. Indeed, sometimes actions have consequences. That's my only piece of advice for him. Nonetheless, Howard still had more to share about her story. As 2024 gave way to 2025, she began leveraging her social media channels not merely to protect her reputation, but to methodically unravel what she believed was a coordinated effort to tarnish her character and downplay Edward's duties as a father. As we delve deeper into this unfolding story, we'll uncover that the reality is much more intricate than the initial portrayal from either side. The realm of social media has become the new battleground for celebrity conflicts, with the focus shifting from courtrooms to Instagram feeds. Nowhere is this shift clearer than in Isha Howard's calculated deployment of social media to steer the narrative in her custody dispute with Anthony Edwards. The social media frenzy peaked when Howard confronted one of the most relentless and detrimental labels within celebrity culture, that of being a gold digger. This term, circulated widely on platforms such as Twitter and Instagram, implied that Howard had intentionally pursued Edwards for his wealth and status, leveraging her pregnancy as a means of financial support for the next 18 years. The accusations were particularly painful as they reduced her to a stereotype that many women in similar situations have encountered. However, Howard was not inclined to passively accept these criticisms. In what became one of her most contentious and talked about moments on social media, she responded with a live stream that divided audiences. Some praised her candor, while others were put off by what they viewed as classist comments. Should I visit the YH's page? Oh, that was an error. I drew a comparison between the fathers of your kids and the fathers of mine. What? And I thought to myself, she's not impressive. You were searching for hardship. No, I'm going to claim that. Fine then. Oh, you held on to that child for a little tax refund, didn't you? Or you held on to that child for a few more $100s while fully seated. Or you can understand overcoming or you held on to that child for an additional housing voucher. This powerful speech stirred up intense reactions online, with observers split on whether Howard was masterfully countering her detractors or exposing concerning views on social status and hardship. The intense emotion in her voice was unmistakable. This was a woman who sensed she was trapped and was pushing back with all her might, even if it required uttering words that would be deemed highly controversial later on. The discussion didn't stop here. Howard pressed on, indicating that she fully grasped the impact of the assaults on her. Is that how you ended up with your child? You can't rescue me. If that struck a nerve, I feel that way whenever someone asks, do you really care for that child? The response to this live broadcast was swift and fervent. Detractors label Howard as insensitive and elitist, while her defenders claimed she was merely voicing the exasperation of facing relentless scrutiny over her dating decisions. This debate underscored the challenging predicament many women face when entangled with affluent, well-known partners. Caught in a no-win situation, they face the implications of either committing to the relationship or stepping back, and adding children into the mix only complicated matters further. While speculation was rampant. In March 2025, social media ignited with a sensational allegation that Edwards had proposed an upfront payment of $1.08 million in child support, designed to absolve him of any future connection to Howard and their child. This story quickly spread, amassing over 1.3 million views across different platforms, depicting Edwards as so eager to sever ties with his daughter that he would pay an exorbitant amount to erase her from his life. In response, Howard swiftly took action, issuing a statement via the Shade Room to outright reject the rumor. There are currently no legal documents, filings, or hearings underway, nor have any arrangements been proposed or consented to. Her rejection was paired with astonished social media comments questioning the origins of such fabricated details. However, the most alarming turn came when Howard posted on Instagram on March 13, 2025, causing unease among those tracking the developments. She claimed that she and her young daughter were under constant stalking and harassment, stating, "We are being stalked and harassed from sunrise to sunset by someone who has already confessed to tracking my every step. I am fearful for my and my child's safety." Although she did not directly name Edwards, the timing and circumstances led many to ponder who could be behind this supposed monitoring. The stalking accusations introduced a dark twist to an already heated custody dispute. If accurate, they signaled that the conflict had evolved from mere legal tactics into a potentially perilous situation. Conversely, if untrue, they posed a grave allegation that could tarnish Edwards' reputation and might be considered defamatory. Throughout Howard's social media initiative, Edwards had mostly refrained from responding, letting his legal counsel manage the case's public image. However, in May 2025, he finally spoke out with counterclaims, alleging that Howard had hired someone to watch his hotel and had harassed his fellow players during the NBA playoffs. The accusations cast Howard in a dim light, implying that her assertions of being stalked were merely a defense mechanism to mask her own misconduct. The conflicting stories muddied the waters of public perception. Who truly held the role of victim, and who was the perpetrator? Was Edwards merely a young man taken advantage of by an older, seasoned woman, or was Howard a single mother facing harassment from a wealthy athlete with vast influence? Complicating matters further was Howard's choice to confront the age disparity head-on, responding to insinuations that she had predatory tendencies or had groomed Edwards due to their 15-year age difference. Howard took to Instagram, clarifying that I mentioned he began to chase me before we were involved, and my stance remains the same. He made all the choices. How can I ensnare someone who sought me out? If anything, I felt caught in this situation. He's the one with concealed children and hidden motives. This reply unveiled yet another concerning layer of Edwards' personal circumstances. The mention of hidden children and ulterior motives indicated that Aubrey wasn't his sole recent child from affairs beyond his main relationship with Shannon Jackson. Public records later disclosed that Edwards was entangled in paternity claims with several women, including Alexandra, Ollie, and Thetis Rosais, regarding a child born in 2023. The conflict on social media escalated when Howard posted what she asserted were the initial direct messages from Edwards that sparked their romance. These supposed messages from 2022 depicted Edwards reaching out with casual inquiries like "where you at?", which Howard leveraged to bolster her assertion that he had consistently pursued her rather than the other way around. This newfound information prompted a reconsideration of the relationship dynamics, shifting perceptions from a calculated older woman preying on an unsuspecting young athlete. The indicators pointed to a growing mutual interest that evolved gradually, with Edwards taking on the role of an enthusiastic and determined pursuer. Amidst the escalating social media conflict, insights from cultural commentators and influencers intensified the debate. Conversations across platforms like YouTube and various podcasts explored intricate details of the situation, frequently addressing the implications of their age difference and the obligations of each individual. I must emphasize this clearly. All right, 38. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. To begin with, I've never encountered this before. She is breathtaking, a true beauty. Oh, just a moment, let me pause. She has done it. I'm aware. Sure, here's a rewritten version. Absolutely, Asia. She. Let's go hot ball. Let's go hot ball. Asia will conduct the interview. Asia. The analysis unveiled the intricate ways in which beauty, age, and fame intertwined in the public conversation surrounding the case. Howard's allure was employed to clarify Edwards' attraction and to insinuate she had intentionally wielded her looks to manipulate him. While the custody dispute with Isha Howard has captured headlines in 2024 and 2025, a closer look at Anthony Edwards' public history uncovers a deeply concerning trend in his behavior that goes well beyond this isolated occurrence. Edwards' troubling pattern of controversial actions. In 2022, a significant warning sign regarding Edwards' public conduct appeared when he encountered substantial criticism for homophobic remarks made during an Instagram live broadcast. This episode, which led to a hefty $40,000 penalty from the NBA, was not merely an isolated error in thinking. It uncovered a perspective that appeared fundamentally misaligned with the principles the league claims to uphold. Although Edwards subsequently offered what many considered a half-hearted apology, the harm to his reputation was already inflicted. More critically, it set a precedent for a troubling trajectory that would escalate as time went on. The homophobic remarks weren't mere lapses in social media management. They revealed a more significant issue with Edwards' grasp of his responsibilities as a public figure and the potential repercussions of his comments on at-risk communities. His ease in uttering such remarks publicly implied either a profound ignorance of the damage his words could inflict, or even worse, a heartless indifference to the feelings and safety of LGBTQ+ individuals who may have seen him as a role model. However, the controversy of 2022 was merely the tip of the iceberg. In 2023, an alarming pattern surfaced when model Jordy accused Edwards of pressuring her regarding her pregnancy decisions. Though never proven in court, this charge eerily foreshadowed the claims later brought forth by Isha Howard, hinting at a troubling pattern in Edwards' response to unplanned pregnancies, one that seemed not just indifferent, but potentially systematic. The Jordy claims were particularly unsettling, revealing that how Edwards handled Howard's situation was not an isolated incident. It appeared to be his routine method of dealing with the fallout from his sexual conduct. The notion that a prosperous, accomplished athlete would habitually exert pressure on women to terminate pregnancies instead of taking responsibility reflects a deep-seated flaw in his character, extending beyond mere immaturity. Compounding the issue is the alarming number of women embroiled in legal battles with him over paternity and child support, highlighting the troubling nature of his behavior. In addition to the widely covered incidents involving Howard and Jordy's claims, Edwards finds himself entangled in paternity issues alongside Daisha Carlisle concerning their daughter Eris, born in 2023, as well as another matter with Alexandria Ali D. Disrock regarding a son, initiated in New York in April 2025. The calculations surrounding Edwards' lack of responsibility in this realm are astonishing when presented plainly. Public documents and legal records indicate that he has allegedly become the father of 4 children in just 1 year, each from different mothers, a reality that highlights not only indiscriminate sexual conduct, but also a profound negligence towards the emotional and financial fallout on the women and children affected. This goes beyond the typical narrative of a young man living recklessly. Edwards exhibits a mentality that implies he views women as expendable and regards children merely as hindrances to his way of life, rather than individuals entitled to affection, support, and stability. His continuous efforts to reduce his engagement with these children, all while nurturing his connection with Shannon Jackson and their daughter Aislinn, indicate a concerning hierarchy in his thinking.